Hello, welcome to another episode of Black Ice 73. I am Black Ice 73. Hey, we talk junk. You all talk junk. But there's some perks of being friend with the president. Just in case you get sentenced for lying to the Senate, doing some embezzlement, uh, going out there spending campaign money on something you aren't supposed to. But guess what? You got a trump card. Now I'm talking about the ace of spades. You're friends with the president. President Trump, President Obama, President Bush, and other presidents on down have the power to release a person from prison or pardon a person from prison. I know some of y'all might miss it because it happened this weekend, but a guy goes by the name Roger Stones. I think he was still under investigation and he already got pardoned. But once I start reading this article to you all, you're gonna be surprised which president have pardoned more people in the last 19 years and a half. You're gonna be surprised by the name, but some might don't be surprised because you know how much they love this guy, and I know they're keeping up with it. But when I get down to that, you're gonna like, damn, dude was nice. You're like, this dude right here, you was getting him out of there. But this weekend, Roger Stone was released out of prison. Or released out of jail. I don't think he served no time. Either way to go. President Donald Trump said, Roger Stone ain't going nowhere. Roger Stone ain't going no prison. That's why I think, because when I did that story on that lady last name Matthews, who Epstein homegirl, and I said she gonna talk by Tuesday. By Tuesday, she gonna give us a name. But it kind of find out, her and Donald Trump know each other also. So maybe this is my conspiracy. Allegedly. maybe the reason she's not giving up no name because she knows she got an ace of spades trump card. No point. When I said Trump card, I'm actually talking about Trump. I'm actually talking about President Trump. She got an ace of spades President Trump card. So she might haven't gave it no name. And then I don't know what her bail was set, but I think they said on Sunday that she had bailed out. So if I were Justine Matthews, I would be calling all the contacts that I have and let them know, y'all getting Donald Trump ear? Are you friend with Donald Trump? You getting his ear? Nothing. Nothing gonna happen to you. Ain't gonna tell on nobody. But if y'all don't tell, I'm taking a lot of people down. I know she's just telling some people because she got to be careful. We know when we look at the politicians, we look at most of them like some old, frail people like in their doing 70s, like, oh, they can't do nothing. A lot of them politicians that we see as senators and representatives, some of them worked in the CIA. Some work in the CIA. Some have close contacts to the people in the FBI. And some of them doing alphabets that we don't even know about. We don't even know what they do. So if they want to have somebody knocked off, they can have somebody knocked off. They might sit there and like, oh, look at him. Done one phone call on a secure line can have somebody eliminated. So Justine, is she smart like they said she are? I know she getting on up like, hey, you there, dog. You were there. And you know, we got other people over there. So y'all need to get on the phone with Donald Trump. And hope we get him reelected. Because if we don't get him reelected, he ain't gonna be able to pardon my sentence. And he don't pardon my sentence, y'all going down too. Better watch out. That's just me. If I was Justine or Jesseline, I think it's Jesseline. If I were her, I'm telling you, I'd be calling everybody in my Rolodex. All the doing old numbers. That's all you be hearing. Be dotting them pages back saying, hey, yo, I'm in a bind. Y'all seen that junk on TV. I was just minding my business on my 150 acres land. In my private home. I was just minding my business. Then the FBI came running up in there. They arrested me. Me, Justine Matthews. I'm a British socialite. I sat in a royal chair. They have pictures of her, and it was one more person who was kind of controversial. But they have a picture of them sitting in the royal throne in England. Prince Andrew, like, man, go ahead, have a seat. I just like, go ahead, have a seat, man. I'll deal with my mom later. Go ahead, take a picture. They know who you are. You know the vibe. You know. They know how we get down. So, and then speaking of Prince Andrew, they on the phone trying to get him over here. They're trying to get him over here. Prince Andrew said, I'm not leaving out the castle. Last week they made a big deal. They said he canceled his annual trip to Spain to go golfing because Spain could have detained him and had him shipped over to the United States. So he's like, nope, I ain't going. But the thing is, the relationship the UK and United States have, when you think it'll be easy to get Prince Andrews over here? Because you know I know they won't call it president, the Prime Minister of UK, you know that wild hair looking dude, you know they say he over the top, the one who got coronavirus because he said, I ain't gonna wear no mask, I'm gonna go into the hospital, I'm gonna start shaking people's hand, kissing on people, saying, oh, this pandemic is a bloody mess. It's not real. It's not real at all. All these people want the science. Then 2 days, 3 days later, he was up in the house sick because of COVID-19. Yeah, that same prime minister. I thought him and Donald Trump were friends. I thought they were homies. Do the royal family have more power in the UK than the prime minister? It seems like they do. Seems like they do. Sorry about that. So yeah, you see how they made Princess Diana accident just disappear real quick, like get out the news. Harry and his wife, go to North America. Prince Andrew, he ain't going nowhere. Y'all can't even come on this property. Listen, we like to do Pope. You know, at the Vatican. This is our own country. Y'all can't even come in. We're not even buying you. I know they ain't their own country, but that's why they act like sometimes that the royal family had their own country. I know they got their own guards. You know, weird looking dudes. Like, if somebody really want to just get in there, it seems like it'd be easy. I know it can't be that easy. But at the same time, we always thought it wasn't easy that anybody can just jump over the fence at the White House and end up going through the east, not the west wing, but the east wing of the White House and made it through all there. When you're supposed to have all the security, special agents all on top of the roof and everything. It happened in 2019, I think, when that guy jumped over the fence and made it all the way into the White House before he got apprehended. That was crazy, man. But I'm gonna give you a little of this article. Like I said, you're gonna be surprised who have pardoned the most people in the last 20 years as president. I was shocked. I was like, yeah. There must have been a lot of darn Cajun people that he released. Okay, this article goes, they said, the president's decision to commute Mr. Stone's sentence continued a pattern of his presidency, granted clemencies to friends who cases. Though I said, it is so important who you choose as a friend. It is so important. Who would have thought? Like, I got President Trump. Oh shit! But I'll be out of prison a little bit. To look at the ex-mayor in Chicago, he was in prison. He was riding that darn pine. Even Barack Obama didn't even help him. Donald Trump said, "I'll release him." But sir, release him now. Donald Trump said, "Get him out of there." But they said President Trump on Friday commuted the sentence of Roger J. Stone Jr. Like I said, a lot of people didn't hear it because, a lot of people don't pay attention to the news, especially going into the weekend. They'd be so like, it's grass. So I think he did it on Friday for a perfect reason because people really don't pay attention to the news or they just think about their weekend. But a longtime friend and former campaign advisor who openly expressed loyalty to him throughout the congressional investigation into the ties between Mr. Trump and 2016 campaign in Russia. Even Roger Stone was in the doing news telling them, man, I ain't gonna turn my back on President Trump. President Trump, my dude, that's my dog right there. He ain't say my dog, but he's like, that's my friend. I'm gonna never turn it back on him. President Trump rewarded that loyalty. He out. Free. You know how on the record he have? It's the record on the TV or in the news. That's the only record Roger Stone gonna have. Dude, free. He walk out. He was throwing up on double hand deuces like another like Nixon, like the ex-president Nixon. You know when he threw up that hand, I'm not telling a lie. I'm innocent. Roger Stone threw up them two deuces, threw them hands up like psh, as he walked out of prison or walked out of wherever he was. Roger Stone said, y'all can't touch him. My friend is the president. They said Mr. Stone would not be facing time in prison. But like I said, I think his sentence got commuted before he will step foot in the prison. So I'm trying to know. He going home. He ain't going to prison. Listen, Mr. Stone had been days away from reporting to federal. Yeah, like I was saying. He'd been days away to reporting to federal prison to serve a 40-month sentence for 7 felonies, including lying to federal investigators, tapping with a witness, impeding a Congress inquiry, and he has aggressively lobbied for clemency, both in the court and on social media. Come on. Anytime you go ahead and say, I don't care what y'all do to me. Give me 40 months. Donald Trump said, hey, that's my dude right there. I can trust him. The communication, which was immediately criticized by Democrats, added Mr. Stone to a list of beneficiaries of Mr. Trump clemency in cases that with him personally, they know him personally, or with people who have direct lines to him through friends or family. They said over 1,000 of other cases are awaiting his review. Yeah, I'll tell you, President Trump, if I were president and I get the poll saying, oh, Joe Biden will win, I'm telling you, before January, all 7,786 people, 7,786 people who asking for clearances, I'm like, everybody get out. I have my doing secretary just have my doing initials in it and like but I said, according to the Justice Department, Mr. Trump has commuted the sentence of 10 people. I know the news made a big deal, like he just commuted, just commuting everybody's sentence. That's not including Mr. Stone, but he had received 7,786 petitions for commutation. This put him. This is what I was telling y'all about. You're gonna be surprised that who was the person who had commuted more people out of prison in the last 20 years. They said this put him far behind his most recent predecessor, President Barack Obama, who commuted the sentence of 1,715 people. That's President Trump more closer to George W. Bush, who commuted 11 people. God darn. Barack, he was trying to figure out the prison sentence. The prisons way before the pandemic brought lights. Man, get him out of there. Weed charge. Did y'all see that picture where I was smoking weed? Y'all know I like marijuana. Get him out of there. They said the Supreme Court has ruled that the Constitution gives President unlimited authority to grant pardons which accused of forgiving a federal crime. They said it make a punishment milder without wiping out the underlying conviction. And in Mr. Stone case, the White House did not argue that he was innocent, but are forms of presidential clearance. They said here are some of the pardons issued by Mr. Trump. Joe Perry, you know that Joe dude, he used to be sheriff down there in Arizona. They had people locked up in the doing tents in the heat, no air conditioning. And he got arrested because he violated their rights when the federal judge told him to get them out of the condition. He like, no, I ain't getting them out of the condition. They criminals. They should be serving time in humane condition. But this is not a hotel. Well, President Trump said he's a Republican. He supported me. He out of prison. He's like, Joe, you out, man. They call Joe Arpaio an anti-immigration crusader who John calling himself American toughest sheriff was the first partner of Mr. Trump predecessor. They said once one of the most popular and figure in Arizona, he was elected sheriff 5 times before he was ultimately charged with criminal contempt for defying the court order to stop detaining people solely on their suspicions that they were undocumented immigrants. It's in the move that drew outrage from Democrats and immigrants advocate Mr. Trump, who has staked much of his political capital around zero tolerance in immigration policy. He pardoned Mr. Aprero less than a month after he was found guilty. It said May 15, 2019, he pardoned a dude named Conrad Black. Conrad Black, a former press and friend of Mr. Trump, was granted a full pardon 12 years after his sentence for fraud and obstruction of justice. Mr. Black, who once owned the Chicago Sun-Times, the Daily Telegraph of London, among other newspapers, was convicted of fraud in 2007 with 3 other former executives of the newspaper. They has been accused of scamming millions of dollars from the media company. Mr. Black, who was released from prison in 2012, is the author of several pro-Trump opinion articles, as well as the flattering book, Donald J. Trump, a president like no other. The next person he pardoned on February the 18th, 2020, was Rod Blagojevich. That's the former mayor of Chicago. He was governor. My disrespect, Rod. This is Governor Rod R. Blagojevich of Illinois was sentenced in 2011 to 14 years in prison for trying to sell or trade the highest bidder the Senate seat that Mr. Obama vacated after he was elected president. Rod remarks about his role in choosing a new senator. I'm just not giving it, he quote, I'm just not giving it up for nothing, was caught on government recording of his phone call and became a punchline of late night television. It's in 2010, while Rod was awaiting trial, he was on a show called The Celebrity Apprentice, Donald Trump show. A reality TV show hosted by Mr. Trump. And Mr. Blagojevich was fired at the end of that season, 4th episode. The next person on May the 31st, 2018, I do not know how to pronounce the name. It's like Dinesh D'Souza. I messed up their name, I'm telling you. They said, I think it's Danish. If you see the president's pardon after pleading guilty to making illegal campaign contributed in 2014. A filmmaker and an author who suggests often dabble in conspiracy theories had long blamed his conviction on his political opposition to Mr. Obama. He quote, "What happened here is Obama and his team, Eric Holder, these guys decided to make an example of me. And I think that the reason for this was Obama anger over my movie and that I made about him." Bro, I messed that up. I sound terrible reading that to myself. He said it on Fox and Friends, one of Trump's favorite shows. His reason seemed to strike a nerve with the president. In issuing his pardon, Mr. Trump said that Mr. D'Souza has been treated very unfairly by our government, echoing the claim that the commentator has often made himself. The next person he pardoned, February the 18th, 2020. The person named Edward J. DeBartolo Jr. I'm just going to say Edward. Dude named Edward. It said Edward, a former owner of the San Francisco 49ers, pleaded guilty in 1998 to concealing and extorting plots was prosecuted after he gave Edwin, the influential former governor of Louisiana, $400,000. $400,000 to secure a riverboat gambling license for his gambling. They said the 49ers, who won the Super Bowl championship 14-year span, while Edward was serving as the team principal owner. Although Edward avoided prison, he was fined $1 million and was suspended for a year by the NFL. The next person reporting, this lady named Alex Johnson, June the 6th, 2018. We seen her in the when he had that State of the Union. He brought her on there. Alex Johnson was serving life in federal prison for a nonviolent drug conviction before her case was brought to Mr. Trump's attention by the reality television. God damn, what wrong with me? The reality television star Kim Kardashian West. I'm telling you, Kim don't got more people out of prison than most of these lawyers. That's it. Well, with the help of her team, the Innocent Project. And to commit Alabama since 1996 on charges relating to cocaine distributors and money laundering. Since her release, the Trump campaign has used her as the face of its outreach to black voters. In February, Ms. Johnson was featured in the campaign Super Bowl ad, which was viewed by about 102 million people during the game. She quote, "I've been such a source of pride for him," Ms. Johnson said at the time, who doesn't want to show something that proud of during an election year. That what all the candidates do, for him to highlight me, it make me know he's not only proud, he is super proud. I know some people might criticize Ms. Johnson, but this lady was locked up in 1996 and gave him life for a drug charge. So if I was Ms. Johnson, I'd be up there being Donald Trump's biggest cheerleader too. Like, shit, thank you, dog. I ain't never think I'd be out. Like, shit, Obama didn't get me out. I know. That's a boogie woogie man. You can't mention Obama name too much in public because people would come at you. I got one co-worker, and I had it was a news article. I ain't even say anything. We were in the break room, and he was talking about Obama did more things than Trump. He was fussing at the TV. Why we on break? I said, "Oh, that's my thing." If somebody be talking crazy or talking loud, I just said, "Oh, okay." But yeah, you can't talk about President Obama. Former President Obama. The next person, President Trump, they said community, it's not in order. But on May the 24th, 2018, the guy named Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight boxing champ, was tarnished by a racist taint criminal conviction in 1913. For transportation a white woman across state line, it hunted him even well after his death in 1946. The politicians and celebrity alike tried for years to secure a pardon, but in the end, Mr. Trump was swayed by a friendly phone call from Rambo. Sylvester Stallone called him with the story of a heavyweight boxing champ, Jack Johnson. And Mr. Trump wrote on Twitter just weeks before announcing his decision. His trial and tribulation was great. His life complex and controversial. Others have looked at this over the years, and most thought it would be done. But yes, I'm considering a full pardon. The other person, on February 18th, 2020, a guy named Bernard B. Kurtz. They said 10 years ago, Bernard, a former New York City police commissioner, was sentenced to 4 years in prison after pleading guilty to 8 felony charges, including tax fraud and lying to the White House official. Around the time of his sentence, federal prosecutor denounced Bernard as a corporate official who sought to trade his authority for lavish benefit. Mr. Trump said he heard from more than a dozen people about pardoning Bernard, including what that man name? I'm looking at it. I can't pronounce the last name. He the lawyer of the president now. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I know it. It's in my head. I see it right here. But the pronunciation is just like stop right there. But they said the former New York mayor and Mr. Trump personal lawyer said Bernard rise to promises date to the 1993 campaign for mayor in New York City, when he served as, I know the man's name. I see it. It just ain't coming to me. It's the bodyguard and the chauffeur. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Cause he tried running for president at the same time. I mean, president also. The name spelled Giuliani. I could see his little bald spot in the top of his head and everything. But the name just ain't coming to me. God darn. They said after the pardon was announced, Bernard expressed his gratitude to Mr. Trump on Twitter. With the exception of the birth of my children, he wrote, "Today is one of the greatest days in my life." Another person, President Trump, pardoned April 13th, 2018, a guy named Louis Scooter Libby Jr. Louis Jr. was Vice President Dick Cheney's top advisor before Mr. Libby was convicted in 2007 of 4 felony accounts, including perjury and obstruction of justice, in connection with the disclosure of the identity of the CIA officer Valerie Plum. I said, Louis had maintained his innocence for years, and as a victim of an unfair prosecution, he found favor with Mr. Trump. He quote, "I don't know Bernard," Mr. Trump said in a statement, "but for years I have heard that he has been treated unfairly. Hopefully, this full pardon will help a very sad portion of his life." Come on. Y'all know President Trump knew that, man. But he ain't knowing he had somebody like said, "Hey, get him out of here. What's wrong with you?" But saying November the 15th, 2019, a person named Clint Lawrence, Major Matthews, Chief Petty Officer Edward, Mr. Trump's decision to clear 3 members of the armed services who have been accused of convicted of war crimes. They're no Navy SEALs. I know. It was the Navy SEALs though. And it said he intended to use his power as the ultimate military justice. He ordered a full pardons for Clint, a former Army lieutenant who served a 19-year sentence for murder of two civilians. Major Matthews, an Army Special Force officer who was facing murder charges for killing an unarmed Afghanistan soldier who believed was a Taliban bomb maker. President Trump also reversed the decision for Chief Petty Officer Edward, a Navy SEAL who has been acquitted of murder charges but convicted of the less offense in a high-profile war crime case. It's all 3 has been championed who has portrayed them as war heroes unfairly prosecuted for actions taken in the heat of battle. Now, there's a lot of people that go to prison. The guy named Michael R. Milken was the billionaire junk bond king and a well-known financier on Wall Street in the 1980s. In 1990, he pleaded guilty to security fraud, conspiracy charges, and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Though his sentence was later reduced to 2. He also agreed to pay $600 million in fines and penalties. After his release, Michael created the Milken Institution, a non-partisan think tank. Mike did not have a pardon or communications application pending at the Justice Department Pardon Office, meaning that the president made that decision entirely without official department input. Among those arguing for Mike to be pardoned was the same mayor of New York again. What is that man's name? Rudolph G. What is the dude's name? The last name? I know it's Rudolph, but I can't think of his last name. Who asked the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York prosecutor. I know. I'm reading these names. Might sound a little bored to you, but the next person they have on here, February the 18th. This for people. He pardoned a lot of people on February the 18th. I wonder what the significance of that date. Or he just like, man, I had a bad Valentine Day 4 days ago. I ain't had no fun. My wife, she wasn't talking to me. You're like, bring me some names. I'm gonna release him from prison. I get some kind of gratitude and satisfaction from that. This guy named David, the top federal official under President George W. Bush, was sentenced in 2009 to a year in prison for covering up his ties to a dude named Jack, the disgraced lobbyist whose corruptions became a symbol of the excess of Washington influence peddling. He was convicted of obstruction of justice and making false statements. Having served time in prison and completed the process of rejoining society with a federal conviction, David is positioned to identify a problem with the criminal justice system and work to fix them. The White House said in a statement announced his pardon. This lady named Angela Stanton on February the 18th, 2020. Angela, an author, television personnel, and motivation speaker, served 6 months of home confinement in 2007 for her role in the stolen vehicle ring. Her book, Life of a Real Housewife, explored her difficult upbringing and her encounter with reality television stars. They said before her pardon, she gave an interview in which she declared her support for Mr. Trump. In announcing her pardon, the White House credited her. The White House credited her with working with tirelessness to improve re-entry outcome for people returning to their communities upon release from prison. She was home. She wasn't in prison. She just had house arrest for 6 months. Those were the 10 people President Trump pardoned from prison. I wish I had time to read the 1,700 people that President Obama pardoned from prison. President Obama had a lot of time on his hand. Senate in the House with Republicans at the time. They're like, nope, you're not passing this. So President Obama, like, well, bring me some people out here. Michelle, I'm gonna pardon 1,715 people. We gonna show them. We gonna show them. I got something I can pass without they doing permission. These people about to get out of prison. People, I'm gonna pardon you. There's gonna be 1,700 extra votes. Cause taking everything from you. You ain't got no doing charges on your thing. You're gonna be able to vote again. He ain't say that, but that's what I'd be thinking if I were president. I'm telling you, I'd pardon about 50,000 people. Long as they don't declare they vote for me in the next election. I know you say you're a Republican. I know you say you don't vote, but you 50,000 people, y'all gonna vote for me. I'm gonna have y'all. I'm gonna revoke y'all pardon. You see why I couldn't be a politician? I've been caught up in a scandal. Like it'd be like that. The senator from Alabama who lost his fight got caught up in a scandal. That how Doug Jones got elected to the Senate in Alabama. Okay, you know Doug Jones is a Democrat. Alabama been putting Republicans in there so long. So they were so embarrassed with the doing Republican, what he got charged with. Doug Jones made it in there, slid on in. I seen a campaign ad for Doug Jones trying to get reelected. It looked like that man about to cry. It looked like hey y'all, I'm Doug Jones, and I'm running for Senate in Alabama. Please, y'all. I know y'all can't stand me. Vote for me. Come on, put me back in there. I want to go against everything Donald Trump said. Dude, you got in there. Only reason he became a Senate then, because Alabama was pissed off at that dumb Republicans. They're going to bring somebody else, Doug. They ain't going to make that same mistake. You know this is a red state. Yeah, it's a red state. I know. I sure appreciate y'all watching this live. Those who look and those who have stuck around. Thank you for watching. And basically the reason I'm making this live right here is to say you have an opportunity to be friends with the president or somebody who is high ranked in the political party, be friends with them. Talk nice about them. Because one day they might become president and you might do something stupid. They're going to snatch you out of prison. If you ain't been in prison, they're going to wipe your little slate clean where you was served in prison. They won't have no record of you in prison. Like, when you the guy who got up in prison, I got pardoned by the president. You ain't got shit on me. I got pardoned by the president, so none of that junk count. Free pass. That's all it was. Free pass. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Thanks for, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, hit the share button, and hit the like button if you don't mind. I don't need but one like. I'm begging for likes. But nah, thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day.